Hi everybody, this is Calypso Vibes coming to you. It's been a long time since I've done like a solid video outside of the video that I told y'all that my content on this channel would be changing, and I am sticking true to the content changing on this channel. I really have been trying to figure out what the content for this channel is going to be, and I have great ideas and y'all will see them executed because listen, it's so different that I can't talk about it. Y'all will just have to tune in and observe the journey of some of the things I'm going to be doing, because there's going to be plenty of copycats, I'm sure, trying to do what I'm going to be doing with this channel. Plus, I'm waiting for a few more resources to come in this week, and then y'all will see where, this channel is going to be going, some of the fun, interesting things I'm going to be doing with this channel. But don't expect this channel to be a one-dimensional kind of thing, like a niche, you know what I mean, where I'm just talking about one thing, because I'm not. I'm going to be talking about many things, and the things that are like affecting us emotionally, like how for example, prime example is like, the brawl that broke out in Alabama, right? Like, as much as I think it is hilarious, some of the memes and the things that's come out from it, I also think there's gonna absolutely be like a whiplash to that, and culturally, right? Like what that's gonna mean in the bigger grand scheme of things. Like, I want to talk about some things like Barbie. Like, Barbie all of a sudden hit $1 billion in the box office, and I think it blows my mind that that movie's done so good, and yet and was it Anheuser? How do you say it? Anheuser Busch, like the people who own Bud Light and all that, lost $27 billion to trying to be woke culture, right? That they're actually selling off like 12 of their smaller beer lines because there's been so much public backlash to them trying to be more inclusive and diverse that it cost them so much money. And just based on the reviews I read about Barbie, Barbie's pretty woke culture, and yet it's doing really well because I think people aren't paying attention to the woke culture message, but are just so enamored and in love with Barbie, right? The pink, the femininity that's involved with Barbie, but the plasticness that's also involved in Barbie. I personally haven't seen it, but I've seen enough like videos on YouTube, breakdowns. Like, I got the gist of Barbie, right? Without having to go see it. I was like, yeah, I'll wait for it to be free at home and then I'll check it out and really dissect it a little bit. But I think Barbie's a lot deeper than people are paying attention to. And I stand by the idea that I think Barbie is signaling us going back into um, a specific aesthetic in society, right? Currently in society, we glorify big booties, we glorified, braids have been trending. Like, you got everyone braiding their hair now. It's no longer a black culture thing, even though braiding is a black culture thing. And even though people try to claim, oh, Vikings did it, show me photos. Show me photos from Viking time of them rocking half the braided hairstyles I see everybody rocking. They did not stop, right? So it's just people trying to validate and warrant culture vulturing. And I plan to talk about culture vulturing. I also plan to talk about many other things on this channel that I think people need to have honest conversations about. And I really want to have that in an intimate way. So it's not going to be this overdone process, you guys. Y'all not going to see me with this like elaborate YouTube setup and stuff like that, because I think that's, I'm not looking to be an aesthetic kind of girl. I'm here to just talk to y'all eye to eye, face to face. Just really natural, right? As much as I can be, in the sense of like just me, you guys, and this camera, right? So I think we should have honest conversations as adults. So it's probably going to be Calypso Vibes adult conversations, and me going on my spiritual journey and what it's been like, because I think spiritual journeys have been uh that's been plastified, right? Like spiritual journeys have been Walmarted is the best way to put it. I went into the spiritual store one time here in Austin. I think I should take a video of me going there. Like I plan to actually do it, right? There's this spiritual store here in Austin, right? There's like 4 of them. I think 3 or 4, right? And I want y'all to look at me in these different places and environments and just tell me what you feel in them. I don't know if I can actually record in them. I might have to like try to creep a little photos here and there, but the aesthetic is like spirituality has become Walmart. Like it's not about how hard this shit is, how hurtful this is, how good Lord, how guttural it could be, right? Like how when you are really going through a spiritual journey, this shit will gut you to your core. Like you will bring up recessed emotions, you will bring up recessed trauma. You'll just want to cry some days for no reason. You'll be depressed some days for no reason. You'll isolate some days for no reason. Then other days you'll be jovial and excited, and because that's what the journey is like, right? It takes you through all these emotions where you're looking at all the multi faces of yourself, right? And it'll bring out like, well, you know, you'll see who's two-faced, you'll see who's phony, because I pulled those cards while I was pulling these cards about, like, I asked Spirit, like, what did you want me to talk about today? And it was two-faced, phony. So you'll start to see who are two-faced and phony in your life. You'll also see who's got like darkness on them, right? Like you can start really seeing who's heavy, who's carrying a lot of baggage. As you start to lift your baggage, you can see others carrying their emotional, mental baggage. I implore people to stay on the journey. A lot of people jump off, right? And that's those videos you'll see here on YouTube and TikTok, like, oh my God, I got rid of all my crystals, I got rid of all my tarot, I got rid of all my stuff because it was bringing in entities and demons and devils. That's your spiritual journey, bringing that in. Like when you are doing real shadow work, you are going to meet the demons within you. You are going to meet your spirit cries out, right? As you're cleaning and purging yourself, right? And you're going to attract these darker, heavier entities as you are purging, cleansing yourself. Imagine cleaning out your closet, right? You start finding things you didn't realize you even had. You're like, oh my God, I ain't seen this in years. That's what your spiritual journey is like, right? And you start pulling out things where you're like, oh my God, where was I mentally when I was wearing this? Or where was I when I was dating a jerk or an asshole like that, right? Because that's what it really is like to be on the spiritual journey. It's really looking in your closet, cleaning out your closet and cabinets, and finding things you didn't know was in there for years, right? Shadows and trauma and spiders and all kind of things that you can't run away from, and your spirit begins to change. And as you do the shadow work, you're actually going to meet a lot of those energies that you were in that past time, because it's a test, right? As you evolve and as you grow, you are going to be tested. Like, you sure you ain't the same person? You sure you ain't into these same things? Right? And you're going to meet those energies that were attached to a lot of that stuff, because a lot of times when we break up from relationships, we don't heal through those relationships. We just jump into another relationship. So we don't heal the trauma that's attached to the past relationships of what we just went through, right? We don't allow our heart to heal. We don't clean ourselves afterwards, right? We don't take spiritual baths. We don't cut our hair. We don't release the trauma. We don't cut our nails, our toenails, our fingernails. There's like everything attached to the past energy needs to go, right? We don't even get rid of clothes from prior relationships, things like that, right? And amulets and ornaments and jewelry that's from the past, right? That carries emotional sentiment from these things, right? And a lot of us are clutter bugs. A lot of us are, what's the word when you like keep a whole bunch of stuff from the past? Good lord. A pack rat, right? Like going through like my deceased loved ones uh estate. Oh my god, he had stuff from like the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. My god, like his storage was full of every era of his love life, right? Every era of his life, and he did no cleaning, he did no removing, he did no letting go. He just carried it. He just collected. And I'm sitting in it and I am wearing the emotional baggage of his decades of carrying. And I think we don't realize as we get older, as elders, our parents don't even realize the emotional baggage they leave us with, right? And it's taught me so much about, like, it's not about just financial, not leaving our children in financial debt, and not just our children, like um any loved one who's going to inherit your estate, right? We don't want to just leave financial debt. We don't want to leave emotional debt, right? We want to make sure that when we transition on, we can try to leave the world a lot lighter than, you know what I mean? Like declutter our lives as much as we can so that we leave a lot more love instead of a lot more trauma and baggage and emotional baggage and things like that for people, our loved ones that have to deal with and handle. Hopefully that resonates with someone, because I feel like maybe some of y'all are dealing with something I had to deal with like that, right? With where you're, maybe you're living with your parents and you see all the clutter in their life and you're trying to help them declutter, and y'all are going through the emotions and the waves and the energy in the house of all that clutter, right? So I did some, pulling of some cards of my own personal cards that I make for when I do, it's a divination tool, oracle tool that I use that I've made. And one of the cards that came up was protect your spiritual peace, because I think some of y'all may not have a spiritual peace, like a place that's, a space for yourself. That also speaks to, boundaries, right? When you say protect your spiritual peace, it's always boundaries. It's always boundaries. That's at its core. When it says what's peace, boundaries, right? Making sure you're not going over your mental capacity, right? Making sure you're not going over your emotional availability, right? Sometimes we go over our emotional availability to people to try to appease people, to try to help people when we're tapped out. We're over our limit, right? And we forget to protect our own spiritual place and peace, which is, spiritual peace in the mind and in the heart and in the body and all of that stuff, right? Hopefully, you know what I mean, that connects to someone. So some of y'all really need to practice protecting your spiritual peace and not going over your emotional capacity and taking on more than you can handle, and setting healthy boundaries of letting people know, like, look, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that anymore. I can't. I'm tapped out. I need to start setting healthy time away for me. I need to start putting time away into my relationships. I need to spend more time doing this. I need to, you know what I mean? So make sure you are protecting your spiritual peace, because as you're going on your spiritual journey, you are going to irritate people's demons. Fair warning, you are going to irritate people's demons and little entities that are attached to people. It's going to piss people off, right? Because as you begin to shine your light, the dark is attracted to the light, right? So whatever is possibly floating through your home or on other people is going to look to attach itself to you, right? And it triggers people who has that shit attached to them, because they don't understand, like, why are you changing? Why is things changing? Why is the energy changing, right? And they become joy thieves unintentionally, and some of them intentionally want to take your joy because they aren't in a happy place. So misery loves company. The story, the tale is old as time. Our elders were telling us this shit for a long time, that, you know, it's crazy because I like think of all the superstitions and the things that a lot of people be like, oh, my grandmother used to tell me this, my aunt used to tell me this. They were telling us these things because they knew, right? And I wish we actually listened to our elders more, because the next card is spiritual journey, right? So I was talking about spiritual journey, like that the spiritual journey will try to take away from you your spiritual peace, right? Because again, people who have heavy entities and energies on them are going to come and attack your spiritual peace and try to violate your boundaries and try to push you to your limits and try to get you to go over your mental capacity, your emotional capacity, your physical capacity, right? And whether it's intentional or unintentional, it's still destructive to yourself. And that's when you have to go into self-preservation mode. So just make sure before you even have to hit self-preservation mode, you are protecting yourself and your energy and your peace and things like that. So with that said, y'all need to start trusting your intuition a lot more, because that came up. Some of y'all know that it's time to go on your spiritual journey. Some of y'all know it's time to start protecting your spiritual peace. Some of y'all know it's time to get back into your faith, right? Some of y'all may have been slacking from your faith walk, right? Your devotion. What are you devoted to? What are you pouring? What's pouring back into you, right? What does your spiritual peace look like? Where's your spiritual place? Where's your spiritual altar? Where's your where do you go to release the trauma of the week, right? What place provides you, you know, whether it's religious, right? Do you go to church? Do you go to maybe not a church, but like these spiritual places, right? Like, what are you doing to release? Are you going to boxing? Like, are you working out at the gym? Where's your outlet to release, right? And to unclutter your emotional and mental baggage. If you don't have a place that you're unloading for yourself, you're going to unload on the people you love. And you're going to start attracting these little low vibing energies in your life. People who are low vibing, and actual entities you can't see and energies around you are going to attach to you, and they're going to be, you know, when you like, oh my God, I can't catch a break. It's all this bad shit happening to me all the fucking time. I can't fucking breathe. That's why. Because you don't have a place to mentally unload. You don't have a place to emotionally unload, whether it's yoga, whether it's Buddhism, whether it's, because Buddha keeps coming up. I can tell y'all now, Buddha came up with meditation. That was bringing me to my next card. Meditation came up. And Buddha was coming up. Like, some of y'all really need to get into yoga. Some of y'all really need to get into chanting, playing like chanting music that chants. Get into crystal bowls, you know, like the meditation bowls, crystal meditation bowls. If you don't want to do yoga, just sit there, clear out your chakras, right? Listen to the chakra cleansing bowls or the Tibetan bowls, right? And listen to them shits every day so it could cleanse your aura, so it could cleanse your energy. Because whether we all know we're all empaths, I be telling my partner this, like, everyone's an empath, right? But there's different thresholds of empaths, right? And I say this all the time: the more spiritual you are, the more HD the empath, right, where you start ranking. Because as you evolve and elevate in your spiritual journey, you're attracting more, you're feeling more, you're feeling more, you're becoming aware more, you're becoming more conscious, right? So this is why meditation is super, super, super important. Every day, ground outside, get your asses out in nature, touch grass, do some meditating. Like I said, play some singing bowls. Find your faith. Find something you can be faithful and devoted to outside of just setting boundaries for yourself. Be faithful to that too, right? Start figuring out what your mental capacity is. Start figuring out what your physical and spiritual capacity is, and don't go over it and budge on it for no one, okay? Because the next thing I need y'all to start doing is who's watching me right now needs to heal your heart. All right. So some of y'all need to Start healing the heart chakra. That's why I'm saying playing singing bowls, meditating, chanting music, grounding outside, going to the gym, going to Bible study, whatever it is, listening to some Buddhism, chiming music, whatever provides journaling. Oh my God, I can't believe I was just about to forget that because they just told me journaling. Some of y'all seriously need to stay consistent to journaling every day. Hell, do it twice a day. Do it when you wake up, right? Talk about your dreams. Journal. Oh my God, I had this intense dream. I had this loving dream, because you only got a small window. Don't talk to anybody. Start saving your words when you first wake up, right? Save your words for gratitude, giving thanks when you wake up, right? I woke up today. I give thanks, right, to the universe. I don't care if you believe in Allah, if you believe in Jesus, you believe in God, believe in Yahweh, whatever your faith is. We all believe in some kind of divine source, unless you're atheist, and that's your business, right? Whatever you give thanks to, just make sure you're living a life of gratitude and save your first words in the day to giving gratitude and giving thanks to, maybe your ancestors, spirit guides, angel guides, or whatever you believe in, for walking with you, and, the divine source for waking you up another day to get, live a abundant, bountiful life, right? To get back at it. Because whatever happened yesterday, leave that shit in yesterday. A lot of us drag the week throughout our entire week and fuck our week up because we don't know how to let stuff go. So that's why I'm saying y'all need an outlet to let stuff go. So, make your first words count. Give thanks when you first wake up, and journal what you dreamed of. And before you go to sleep, journal what you learned about yourself throughout the day, what you felt throughout the day, how you felt that you made improvements. Talk about the improvements that you made throughout the day and how proud you are of yourself, right? And that tomorrow I'm going to do this, this, and this, and that. And tomorrow I'm going to, just keep track. It's an accountability book, pretty much, right? Keep a self accountability book and journal your thoughts and meditate and ground outside when you can, even if it's for 5 and 10 minutes. People be like, oh, I got so much stuff to do. You never got enough to do where you can't take time to take care of yourself. By the way, I felt the need to tell somebody to wash their hair. Some of y'all need to wash your hair, need to get all the negativity and clutter out of your hair. Also, spend some self-care time. I feel like somebody needs to possibly do some self-care pampering. Do some self-care pampering this weekend or this week. And yeah, try to keep yourself in a good mental place. So again, we're going to go through protect your spiritual peace. Respect that it is time to walk on your spiritual journey. And if you're already on your spiritual journey, acknowledge it won't be easy. It will be hard and you will be tested, but to persevere and do not give up. Do not let the heaviness and the trauma of your past and healing your past trauma stop you from, staying persistent to healing, right? You're worthy of healing. You're worthy of and deserving of a better life and environment than, what you allow, currently are in and allow yourself to sit in. Trust your intuition every day. Every day. Y'all know if I'm talking facts or not. Trust your gut. Let your gut tell you, man, she's speaking facts, she's speaking points. Trust your intuition and your gut. It will never steer you wrong unless you don't listen to it. Okay? Meditate, grounding. Meditation is super important. Do it every day. Don't take a day off. Meditate and ground. Meditate and ground. Put yourself first. Make sure that you are taking time for you before you deal with other people, so your mental, physical, and spiritual capacity can get an extra bar throughout the day. If you don't do these things, your bar is going to be a lot smaller because you can't put up with the bullshit that's going to come your way. All right? And take time every day to start little steps of healing the past, your trauma, and heal your heart. Your heart is worthy of love, you guys. Y'all are worthy of good things in your life. Some of y'all, I get the sense that some of y'all, are parents or may be parents. And you can't be a good parent if you ain't healing yourself first, if you ain't setting boundaries for yourself first, if you aren't taking care of your mental, spiritual, and physical capacities first, and you're not addressing the trauma that you may be carrying, right? That can be affecting everything in your life, right? So every day take small steps to address in a journal or while you're meditating what you're going to work on every day to start healing, right? But just know, as you start healing and becoming the light, the darkness is going to come looking for you. And it's not going to be an easy journey, but it is a journey worthy of taking, because you are worthy of healing yourself and being healthy and radiating this beautiful light for yourself, right? Because you never know who you may be inspiring. And that's why I'm making this video today, because my spirit team told me to get my ass on this camera and be the light for some of y'all, because some of y'all may have been in dark places recently. So I hope this message resonated, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.